Hello YouTube and welcome to Thornton's site to chase race number 2 of the NRSL Hooters. They take their turn to the track. It's an all chaser front row as the points there. Charles Sanford will start alongside Alex May, who will be on pole. Amanda Shelley and Jake Baskinger row 2 with Stephen Pollard III, another chaser in row 3 alongside Brendan Patterson. Matt Dixon and Dylan Thoreau in row number 4. Thoreau probably looking forward to get rid of the track as this is his third race of the weekend already. Ben Neuwirth and Kyle Collins, another chaser, will start in row number 5. Here's the rest of your starting grid. Charles Sanford has a 15-point lead over Kyle Collins and can clinch a spot in the round of 8 today if he runs well. Stephen Pollard III, Max Neuwirth, Time Pollard, Alex May, Sky Commons, and Chris Louvier are the top 8, with Time Pollard, Alex May being tied for their spot in 5th. The bottom 4, William Duncan, Preston Plord, Henry Powers, and Maxwell Chan. As here comes the command as we look at the final row. There you go.
Drivers, start them engines!
Interesting command there. As pace car flies off. And Max Neuwirth, one of the chasers, does not get going. And I think we figured out where in the grid he was supposed to be, as this one is green and with a huge gap after the 33 is Sky Commons. Hello, train. So far, the front of the field has gone away clean. See, there's the points. There's Stephen Pollard III, third in points coming in. And that didn't take long. Amanda Shelley looking for the race lead, possibly on Alex May. Still not even up to four. Now they're up to 4th gear at 177. And we're all clean through there. Wow. Well, Max Neuwirth finally goes and gets service. Not sure what happened. They're changing the left side, so we're hearing what was a battery issue on the 4. They had to go in and change the battery. So a rough start to Neuwirth's day, but this might be able to turn into a positive with what chaos we would anticipate up here. Might be able to avoid it and get a good run out of it nonetheless. So rough start for Max Neuwirth. We'll have to see how they can rebound. 4th in the points coming in for that 4 car. As we get to the second of the high-speed highway sections. Top 5 now are single file as the battle is around the Ben Neuwirth, Dylan Thoreau cars right now. And now all 42 cars have officially taken the green. Stephen Pollard III, Charles Sanford making moves now as Amanda Shelley goes for the lead down this highway section. We got interesting shadows going on there. Three wide around Pollard's car right here. Saw something back here, and I did. Kazuyoshi's around. And Jonathan Zorline with heavy damage, and the car was airborne. It was Marcus Bruno, and we've got a chaser involved. Sky Commons is around with heavy damage to the 33. And a lot of smokers back here. I see Matt Balding, the 11's around. We've had another wreck, I think. Cosmic Nova with damage. we're trying to get good camera angles back here a little bit. Okay, there we go. At least something. Seth Cole's got damage in the 29 car. Meanwhile, the front pack has broken away as they are 4 wide on this highway section. Mason Neal on the inside of it. No one catching air there like in the truck series. And Amanda Shelley leads into this section. We saw this present troubles yesterday and in the truck, or in the D&Q race, as Shelley gets the wall. A lot of damage to the right side of that 22 car. And we've got basically 2 different packs, I would say. So let's see, does he... Uh-oh, Shelley's going to be in danger here. Oh, whoops. Yep, I caught it just in time. Amanda Shelley falls off turn of death. So there's one victim. That was a fail on my part. I went to the nun camera too early. So we've got one victim is the 22 of Amanda Shelley, as Alex May leads the lap and gets 5 bonus points. And Kazuyoshi goes off, as Preston Plord with heavy nose damage goes to the pits as well. Cosmic Nova, amazed he could see. Another chaser to the pit lane is the 90, Henry Powers. And he was one of the bottom 4 coming into this. Mary Shelley barely avoids getting run over by a train. And speaking of the devil, here comes Max Newworth. Let's see where he's running now. He crossed the line 42nd and was able to avoid all those issues. After 1 lap now, Max Newworth now runs 32nd. As there's Kreller on pit lane, Matt Balding with issues, Bruno with his own issues as well. And we've got a 3-car breakaway, it looks like. A little bit, yeah. Alex May, Jake Baskinger, and Stephen Pollard III. Remember, if Alex May can win this race, or even Pollard, they clinch their way into the round of 8 today. So a win would be huge here at Thornton, because that means that the rest of the field, the 11 others, would be fighting for 7 spots next week in the elimination race. Pollard unable to make the move on Baskinger there. As you see, there is the battle back there with Dixon and one of the Pennzoil cars. I believe that would be the 6. No, that should be the 17. Sorry, I'm looking at the leaderboard now. Pollard now makes the move on the 19. But unfortunately, with the highway section the way it is, unable to complete the move as Baskinger basically just kept following right in the wheel tracks of that 21 car. Mason Neal right in the wheel tracks now, trying to close back up to these guys. And looking through where, well, there was Kyle Collins trying to make a move on Dixon. Will do so going into the right-hander. This is one of the major passing zones, I would say, of this track. And Stephen Powell III once again trying the move. Can't fault him for it. At least he's trying, but again going to be unsuccessful, and this time going to lose a spot out of it, and might end up yeah, he will lose a spot out of it. I was going to say might end up hitting the wall as a result. And the top 4 all hit the wall, and the top 3 spin out from it. And now, Stephen Pollard III is going to get to go to the... Well, maybe not. I was going to say he gets to go into the turn of death unchallenged here. Dixon's going to go around the outside of the turn of death unsuccessfully. Dixon goes off. Seth Cole around the outside of the turn of death doesn't go off, so that's the good news for him. And I'm looking at who has just kind of snuck his way into the top 5 now. And just the season that that team is having. I don't think anyone's going to fall off back here. This is the group that has kind of gotten into their own little zip code. See Sky Commons there with the damage he's gotten. Max Neuwirth has gotten the wall now. And Stephen Pollard III leads over Brennan Patterson, Kyle Collins, Ben Neuwirth, and Charles Sanford. 3 chasers in the top 5. And they just happen to be the top 3 in points as Brennan Patterson goes around the outside to the lead. Power move there. Just went in deeper on that corner, and Pollard unable to really fight that. Great move by Brennan Patterson. He's got nothing to lose here. Kyle Collins out a little wide. And Pollard, remember, with that damage, that might be impacting him on these straightaway bits here. I don't know if that's affecting his top speed or not. Oh, yeah, it definitely is. Look at the difference. Kyle Collins 206 already, or 205. Pollard at 202, now just kind of getting up to that 205 mark. So that hit on the concrete wall there, or that guardrail there on that next to last corner, definitely impacting Pollard's car and the ability it has to basically race. So Pollard going to try and just salvage a good finish here, I would say. That's about all he can do, as they're going to almost be 3 wide here through this corner. Ben Neuwirth makes the move and gets 2 spots out of it. Again, Neuwirth with a guy with nothing to lose, really. And Kyle Collins gets that 2nd spot back. This is the final lap. Does Collins have anything for Patterson? He's going to try and look. He's peeking. Neuwirth trying to figure out which line he wants to run in. Collins is alongside behind. Pollard's going to make the move with Collins, ironically enough. And Pollard's going to be 3 abreast going into this final sweeping right-hander at least. Patterson deep on the brakes. Pollard helping the 0-0 trying to get out front. And the 3 chasers are going to be 3 wide down this straightaway. And they're going to be side by side for the lead. Patterson and Neuwirth. Patterson rode the wall there. And Charles Sanford gets up into 3rd. As we'll switch down to TV1, we're not going to go turn of death camera here. We'll watch the run to the line because this can sometimes be interesting. Patterson off the final corner. Sanford falls off the turn of death! The points leader is off! And Ben Neuwirth will win at Thornton. Pollard gets the top 5, and so does Collins. Card Pollard inherits the top 5. As you see, these guys basically. And oh, what a heartbreak and an interesting storyline for the chase that the points leader coming in falls off the turn of death on the final lap. We saw it in the truck race too. One of the front runners falling off the turn of death, and that one just happened to be the pole sitter, Zachary Fitzwater. Didn't have any championship implications. I can't even say the word right. I was trying to rush it in there. Wasn't championship implication. I can obviously talk. Implications yesterday when Fitzwater fell off turn of death. This one, huge championship implications because Sanford looked to be in a position where he probably could have clinched his spot into the next round today with where he was running, falls off the turn of death, and now it'll be Collins and Pollard possibly clinching their spots in the playoff into the next round. As Neuwirth comes across the line, finishing in 29th. So we're waiting on Henry Powers to cross the line to make this an official race. Yeah, and it'll be a 32nd place finish for the driver of car number 9. And he goes from possibly clinching his spot into the round of 8 to definitely not, but I don't know if he'll really be in danger of falling out of the top 8 after this. You see all the skid marks over there in that one corner. I feel bad for the road crew who's going to have to fix that tomorrow, come Monday or whatever, when they, or later today. I don't know what they're doing with the road crews whenever we're not racing so far this weekend. As Powers comes out the final corner. And there it is, 31st place, and just like that, we are in the books here from Thornton. And just in case it crashes, I'm going to save the replay here. Okay, so the top 10 today: Ben Neuwirth, Brendan Patterson, Steve Pono III, Kyle Collins, Card Pollard, Jessica Shelton, Time Pollard, Jordan Davis, Dylan Thoreau, and Eric Powers. The Chasers finishing today 13th for Louvier, 14th for Mason Neal, 15th for Alex May. Oh, whoops, need to get the export too. Let's see. William Duncan, who came into the race 9th in points, finishes today on 20th. Maxwell Chan, who was 12th, finishes in 21st. So not great runs, but they'll take it, definitely. They gained points on the top of the board. At least in terms of the guy who came in as the points leader. Let's see. Sky Commons rallies for a 27th. Same for Max Neuwirth, rallying to finish 29th after their battery issues on lap 1. Henry Powers finishing the day in 31st. Charles Sanford out of the race 32nd. Preston Plord, the only other chaser, rounds up the day dead last. And for Plord, not great news because he came into this race 10th in the points. So it's going to be a rough day, as he might be a must-win going into the next week. I will say that. So with that, not done yet. Next up is the replays of the wreck, so we'll do that as these guys finish up and get back to the garage area and pack up for the race. Either way, I'd like to thank you for watching at least. Here come the replays of the wrecks for the day, and then we'll just wrap it up there. Okay, so the first wreck of the day was this wreck. Actually, this one did not involve the 16 per se, but we had two wrecks coming off this exact same corner on the same lap. You see Kazuyoshi gets into the 99, spins them out as they're coming up off this corner. Balding's going to help turn the 0, and they got really lucky to not have worse happen here. You see Card Pollard kind of gets a piece of it. There's Louvier, one of the chasers, gets a piece. As Zorline gets involved, William Duncan gets a piece. There's Sky Commons getting his damage. Bruno going up and over. He gets hit by Cosmic Nova, I believe. Maxwell Chan involved, and Mason Powers. There's Matt Balding. Now the other wreck. So you see Marias out wide. The other wreck starts up here with the 7. I'm only rewinding this back just to see if the 2 had any part of this as well. You see Henry Powers there, one of the chasers behind him. Nope. Okay, so wow. Okay. Oh, and Powers kind of hit that wall the way I've seen it. There's Preston Plor getting involved though. Chris Washer as well. That doesn't look bad enough to really put someone out of the race though. So I'm kind of curious what else happened to Preston Plord. I'd seen smoke up here as well. I have to figure out what that was about right there. Oh, hello. Just ran into the back of the 77. So what was the 77 doing up there? Alright, so there's the smoke. That explains that. Smoke was from Cosmic Nova getting up on the center divider there. But Jonathan Zorline with his issues. Zach Kreller just finds the back of the 1, or the 77, and right into the back bumper goes the 16. Okay, so that kind of satisfies my curiosity on that wreck. Amanda Shelley would be the first victim of the turn of death, and here's how that went down. You'll see Alex May makes that move to the inside. Almost makes contact there, and just off she goes. Next wreck of the day, we'll actually kind of show 2 wrecks in one here. This was the wreck with the leaders here. Top 3 all hit that wall and spin off. May, Neal, and Baskinger. And you see simple spin there. And then we'll combine this because if I can find him, there he is. Matt Dixon decides to be bold here. And being bold around the final corner is not a good idea. Oh. Oh. That is probably one of the worst ways to try and land the turn of death. Oh, wow. And the final incident to showcase, probably the one that most of the chasers would welcome even if they didn't want to necessarily see it. Charles Sanford, the points leader, falling off the turn of death here on the final lap from a top 5 spot. At least it wasn't as violent as the 8. Dang. And that would relegate him from 5th to 32nd today. So with that, that wraps up Thornton coverage for the NRSL Hooters Series Season 3 Race 31. I could not tell you for the life of me right now what I had set up for the elimination race. It is not a road course though, and it shouldn't be a plate track, I think. I know one of the three is going to Nashville. I think that might be trucks though. Either way, I'll figure that out when time comes, because I've got it all written down anyway. So with that, congrats to Ben Newworth, the winner today at Thornton of the survival race, basically. And I have no clue what this race was supposed to be called. Whoops. Either way, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. One more race this weekend, the Coke Vanilla Cup Series from Thornton. Oh boy.